Falcons win. Okay, here with us on the Wester Hotline, co-host of Bet Sweats on the BetMGM Network, Odyssey Sports Betting Insider, our guy, Joe Ostrowski. And it's always great to have Joe on. We're going to talk some MVPs here, Joe. I don't know if you sometimes you tell us that you listen to the beginning. It was a little bit of a weird one for us.
Yeah, have you ever done like a whole 25-minute segment where everything you said was wrong?
I fully agree that if you say that every week on your show that this is the biggest game in franchise history, oh boy. I mean, market size, I guess, right? Listenership, I guess that plays a role there. I'm just here getting ready for the biggest game in Bears franchise history against the Packers, which will be much bigger than the Bears-Packers game we play in 2 weeks.
It is the biggest Bears game in a while, though. Probably, you got to give them that.
Yep.
How's the city holding up, Joe?
Shirtless and eating a lot of hot dogs and making me feel bad about my body.
Chicago.
My favorite answer ever.
Joe, what's the latest in the MVP race?
So the latest, based on the most recent results, Stafford, he actually threw interceptions last week. So he drops down a little bit. Drake May takes over as the favorite by himself. First time I remember all year seeing an odds-on favorite where you would have to lay a price to get the winner. So Drake May is your odds-on favorite, but he's going into his bye week. So we're not going to see him. We'll probably see some sort of a shift. I think it's a 4-player race with the amount of time that we have left.
Okay.
Josh Allen has dropped to 5th overall. I think that's like the bare bottom you can go because Caleb is 6th. So Allen is 5th, and being 5th, I think it's going to be very, very difficult, probably not, for him to go back-to-back. He'd have to be far and away the best guy. I'm looking at the guys at 3 and 4. There's enough football in my mind left where it isn't a guarantee, even though most people want to say this, and the odds would suggest that it's going to be Mayor Stafford. Yeah, probability agrees with that, but if Dak makes a run, they end up being a playoff team, he's your third favorite, and just about the same odds, the guy we talk about every year, Schopp.
Yeah.
Jordan Love, metric starling. What if they make this? He goes on a heater. They make this run. They don't have Kraft. He performs like he did on Thanksgiving. You look at a lot of the numbers. They would favor Jordan Love right now. Number 1 EPA per play, adjusted EPA, all those stuff. Mm-hmm. Success rate, completion percentage above expectation. Like, he pops in everything. So I think there's enough football left that if he did get on a heater, he's in that conversation.
I'm actually holding a Prescott ticket from before the season, encouraged that you would include him. Because for me, as we've talked about this award for years, because of Allen, especially, you have to win 12 games, like you have to be a quarterback on a top team. And I don't think that's available to Prescott. Even if they run down the Eagles, they're still going to have like 6 losses at least. You still think, could he win in that scenario? 10-6-1, Philadelphia cracks. If that happens, and I don't know, would May have to crack, or even Stafford too? Would Prescott have a chance?
On this situation, I say win the division. Take over. They had a lot of okay, when they had those losses early, it wasn't Dak's fault. That was the defense. They didn't have one. And now with the changes they've made, we'll talk about it with tonight's game, but you could make the case, and it's a year where you don't have dominant teams, or the dominant teams are flawed or being viewed as very flawed, or light schedule, Chicago, New England. What about the turnovers? It doesn't make sense right now that the Patriots and the Bears are the number 1 seeds, but they are. So I think right, it usually is a 1 or 2 seed, but maybe you could go down the board a little bit this year. And it's the Dallas factor too, right?
Yeah, I would think if you like this idea, you'd want to do it before he throws for 375 yards tonight. Right? Because
you need tonight.
It could be very different by tomorrow morning.
You need tonight.
You're right. But if you like it, you got to do it before tonight even happens.
You need to do it when you're just about to leave the state of Indiana and you pull over on the shoulder and bet it at plus 3,000 before the season starts. That's when you need to do it.
Okay, that's better. That's not available to me now.
This was dead to me. Like for 2 months, this was dead to me, the Prescott idea. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing you on this. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, it could be.
What's his number right
that's
now?
it.
16.
16? Okay.
Right, Joe?
Yeah, him and Dak and Love are about the same. 16, 17, somewhere in that range.
So
Not even that much better than
he
before
has
the
the
season.
monster game, maybe not 375 yards, but whatever. He has the big 300-yard, 3-touchdown game tonight. What does that number get cut in half, or is that too much?
It takes a big drop. It's another primetime game, right?
Right.
He was just participating and won in the most viewed game in NFL history, which is wild. But, yeah. But on the other side, Detroit wins tonight at home. They bounce back. They're out. It's over. Dak's
It's
not
over.
winning.
Right. That's right.
You have to have tonight.
That's real. Yeah. So if you were going to make a bet on him for the MVP before this game, it lives and dies with tonight's result.
Yeah, there's a lot that lives and dies with tonight's result. Like, you could look at the Lions. I keep going back to it. I'm staring at that number. I'm like, really? This Lions team is 25-1 to win the Super Bowl? But if they lose tonight, Dallas pulls off the upset on the road. San Francisco 9-4. They have the last playoff spot right now. Lions are probably done too if they lose.
The Lions and Chiefs could both be done this weekend. Yeah. I have that Chiefs bet too. It happened when you were on with us. The Chiefs to miss the playoffs. Now they'll give me 4-1 on it if I want to get out. And I know, Sam, I need to win something for all this. Bulldog usually gets to it first, but all these great ideas we have that never win.
Yes.
But Sam mentioned to you yesterday, like, I totally shorted the Colts 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Under on the win total, no playoffs, Jacksonville to win the South, Houston to win the South. Eventually I'll have to make up my mind on one of those two. Houston with, like, much longer odds. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about it if I'm you. You want to talk about timing the market. That was when they were on bye, right, before these last two losses?
It was, yeah, and there was the first report that Jones was injured. Like, before we knew fractured fibula, he was listed as questionable suddenly one day. And I don't know how much I knew about that, but it was before the game against the Chiefs. Like, they could totally lose this game. And all of them. Houston twice, Jacksonville twice, Niners, Seahawks.
You got to feel confident in it right now. Now you're going to Jacksonville, a place that they actually rarely win. It's obviously a big game.
Biggest game in Jaguars history.
Yep.
And then to Seattle, then San Francisco, then the Jaguars team again, then Houston. Sure, there's a world where they lose almost every game of the rest of the year. Like, that's a possibility. They could be the prime example when we're looking back, reviewing the season, like, yeah, you don't want to peak too early. You don't want to play your best ball out at the outset, because what are the chances that you're going to do it for 4 months?
One of my guys on ADP chasing, Jacob Sanderson, is a Colts fan. And yesterday we did a show, and he was incredulous as to, like, how their odds aren't better. Like, why aren't the Colts getting more respect in the market? I'm like, buddy, don't overthink it. Daniel Jones. It's not his leg. It's his career.
Right.
I think that is always the skepticism. Just like Darnold, Joe.
Right now, look at it. Look at Darnold last few games.
Yep.
He's not as confident.
Yeah. Where are you at on Bills Bengals? Where maybe more importantly, where's the room at on Bills
baby.
Bengals, Joe?
That's a good one, because the Bills are always a pretty popular look, especially when they're coming off a good performance. But you'd think Joe Burrow is. They all saw it on Thanksgiving night, what Joe Burrow did, and you're okay, here's 6 points. You're getting 6 free points if you back Burrow. I'm not the biggest trends player, but it is worth mentioning because it is just so hard to escape. And I actually poo-pooed the idea going into the Thanksgiving night game against the Ravens. I'm like, yeah, but he's going to be rusty, but he doesn't have T. Higgins. And he did it again, the Joe Burrow thing. When he's an underdog of at least 3 points, it's happened 21 times in his career. When he's an underdog of at least a field goal, he is 18-3 against the spread. That is something, especially when you're Joe Burrow with a decent sample size. So, yeah, I mean, the defense, it was shocking that the Ravens couldn't do anything. Was it fluky with all the Lamar play and the 3 turnovers and how he's playing right now? Maybe one of the worst stretches we've ever seen from him. You could make that argument. I would be surprised if that Bengals defense gives up 14 or less in back-to-back weeks. So I understand why we're at where we are with the point spread. I just have a tough time saying, okay, let's go against Joe Burrow, and we have to win by at least a touchdown.
I hear that. You want 2 funky anytime touchdowns for tonight?
Oh, yeah. Let's go. I'm getting
dry.
prepared to hear a Lions tight end.
Anthony Firkser. There you go. Called it.
Which team is he on?
Detroit, tight end, Anthony Firkser, like you said.
I love you so much, Joe.
Anthony Firkser. No Laporta, no Brock Wright. There might even be someone else that's out for Detroit at tight end. But, Firkser's been around in the league, played for Tennessee, scored he's been in an end zone. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. That's 6-1, not insane. So
who's the tight end they just got from the Dolphins? That's the name that I keep seeing people that are
really
jumping.
Okay, I don't know.
Not Firkser. Hayden Rucci.
Okay, longer odds, I bet.
35, I think.
That's way better.
Yeah.
There's also a Lions player named Tom Kennedy. Bulldog, not the former Name That Tune host.
There's not.
Tom Kennedy. He's with Khalif Raymond and St. Brown, likely to miss. Like, they're very thin at receiver, too, and that's the name. Like, in fantasy, that's the guy you pick up. Assuming you can't get to Tesla, it would be Tom Kennedy. Not super long odds, though, so there's an expectation there.
Right.
I feel like this might be a room play because of last week. He scored last week, but I like Malik Davis as the complement to Javonte Williams at 10-1.
I want to say that is the number one room.
Is it? Okay. I bet it is. Right, I could see it. I missed your show today, most of it.
Every time I look for a touchdown scorer in a game for Dallas, I end up on Turpin.
Oh.
So I'll just submit that as my suggestion for tonight.
I like it.
The room play on anytime touchdown is JMO, not knowing the status of St. Brown, and the most bet prop is Malik Davis over 8.5 rushing yards.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I would.
I'll keep some self-respect here and just not echo the room on this one. I got a favorite play tomorrow. Big college weekend. These mostly meaningless conference championship games.
Yeah, I'm just double checking if which games are tomorrow and which ones are Saturday.
Oh, I meant Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, either way, you do get Friday because if you're looking for something Friday, I do like UNLV going up against Boise. That is getting 4.5. But Saturday, I can't escape Texas Tech. It's a big number. I do not care. They have one loss on the year. They didn't have their starting quarterback in that 2-game span. They have pummeled every team. BYU's playoff life on the line. Their head coach stays. It was a big story this week with Penn State. I just don't think it matters. Texas Tech bought the best team they can. They got the best defense in the country. You cannot run on this team. I think they destroy them. And a lot of these conference championship games, they end up being blowouts, guys. So minus 12.5, that's the look there for me.
I did hear you guys pump up Texas Tech to win it all a little bit today. So
yeah, Sam mentioned that. He came out of the gates. He's like, I made a college title future bet yesterday on his train ride to New York. Who'd I bet? I was like, you bet Texas Tech. He's like, yep.
It's got to be a good price.
That's the team. Yep, you need a little bit of value there. So yeah.
Nothing on Predators Panthers tonight before you go. You're off that one.
I missed that. Just missed the card.
Miss me with that. Okay, Joe. Thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Talk next week.
Bet Sweats host Joe Ostrowski